Hey there, Star Wars fans. This is Vapor Trail here, and I'm gonna try something a little different today, rather than the usual sort of lightsaber duel, short films, whatever you see on my page. I'm gonna try and do a action figure review. I've seen a few people around doing this, Decompose, Astro Train, a couple others. A lot of it's very Transformers based, so there is, can't remember his name, he just Star Wars figure after Star Wars figure. And I've mostly been into the 12-inch Marvel line right now. Everything I can find for that's pretty good. And just recently I started noticing a couple of good Star Wars ones. Usually they're pretty crappy. I'm sorry, I love you, Star Wars, everything about you, Hasbro, but your Star Wars line just needs a lot of work. So I'm gonna just give you an inside look today at Darth Maul and his Sith speeder. See if I can say that right. So let's have a look. It's kind of fun. So I'm going to start with what some of my fellow reviewers have done, which is show off the packaging. So here you go, Darth Maul and Sith speeder. I've heard this called by another name. It's like the Razor bike or something. Whatever. It's a speeder bike. It's a swoop. Whatever you want. I don't care. So you can see Darth Maul in here. The difference I hear between this figure and just if you were to buy the standard 12-inch Darth Maul is his face. So I'll show you a little bit closer here. And, you know, he's got that toothy grin rather than the face, which I usually prefer, which is, you know, serious Darth Maul. I'm all business. But that's okay. He looks cool here, and the paint on this one, I'm told, does look a lot better. It's a direct grab right from the movie here, you know, right before he rides off chasing after Anakin. And there's a bunch of, like, text and whatnot, you know, in a generation before Star Wars: A New Hope, in a galaxy far, far away. Hey, Mocha. This is my dog, Mocha. She interferes a lot. Okay. So, I guess the next step is open them up. Slides right up. What we have here are instructions, because you can see how complicated this guy is. Yeah, I need to know how to work it. Alright, so it says how to attach the stand to the base. The stand's kind of cool, I'll show you that in a second. And then 3-position action pose. The Sith speeder has a 3-position locking mechanism. So if he wants to pull a tight corner, I guess, that's kind of interesting. And then storage compartment for, I assume, the lightsaber. Yep, it says store the lightsaber right there. So, for ages 4 and up, the 4-year-olds, they might be new at this. So we'll try that out. So, here you go, Darth Maul. And what I'm told Hasbro is sort of famous for is their twisty ties. So I'm just going to take a second to undo these. Actually, it'll probably be a lot more than a second. Okay, so here's Darth Maul, obviously. I mean, come on, who doesn't know who this guy is? So, the thing I noticed is his cloak is rather wrinkled. If I'd been in a box since 1999, I'd probably be kind of wrinkled too. So, it looks pretty good though. Like, it's obviously not on the quality of say, Sideshow collectibles, but I'm too poor for things like that, so this is what I get. So, I mean, he does seem like a bit of an older figure. He doesn't have as much articulation as the things coming out nowadays, but he does bend at the elbows. His arms move all the way around. You know, and his knees at first, which I thought were locked, they're actually just these really tight joints, which is a good thing, especially for something that comes with an accessory. You know, you can pose him well and he won't fall apart on you. And, you know, he's got his little communicator radio, which he used to call the probe droids to seek out Qui-Gon and Anakin. And hi, Mocha, why don't you go away? This is not for you. Okay. So he looks pretty good. I'm really happy with him. A lot of detail on here, and then of course there's a little metal clasp here, and you can remove the cloak, which became the cool thing to do with Phantom Menace. I may. If I were really that picky, I would like consider ironing his clothes here, because they are kind of wrinkled, but we'll see if I actually take that step or not. So, pretty good. Just generally looks cool. So, the other figure I've bought recently from the Star Wars line is Count Dooku, because he was also really cheap and looked amazing. What I noticed is, besides his naturally curved lightsaber hilt, was his blade was kind of bent, which, you know, you expect for something that big. Just like this here, kind of bent. So what I may do is the hot water, cold water method. You just take some near boiling water, stick this in there, and then you strain it to where you want, and then you just dip it in ice water really quick, and it usually helps maintain the shape. But for something that's been in the box as long as I assume this thing has, that's not too bad. So, and also tucked away in this box here, we've got the blades, which these, you know, since they were just holed up in the side of the box for so long, these look pretty straight to me. This one maybe is a little bent, but it's barely even noticeable. And then, you know, I've got the narrow point, so when you're feeling combative, looks just like the Dooku joint in his saber. There. And then there's the speeder bike, which is pretty light. You know, I think it's hollow inside. You know, if you've ever owned a vehicle toy, especially from Star Wars, you know, you've got the good side, and then there's the side they use to keep it all together. So if you wanted to put this thing on display, you're probably going to have it this side out, because, you know, you've got all these screws over here. You'd think they would find a better way to do this, but, you know, I think this was a $40 item when it came out. I got it for about $10 plus shipping. You know, that works. Go like this. Alright. Like so. So the point I'm trying to get across here is, good luck 4-year-olds. Okay. You know, it's not actually that difficult, but it does take you a second. You really got to be paying attention here, which I wasn't at first. And so, you know, one goes on the back, one goes on the front, and I really don't think it matters which goes where. So, hey look, it's hovering. Not the most stable thing. These don't exactly go flat on here, but it's okay. You know, it's got this door right here, and that's the hidden compartment. There's a little hole inside, looks like, right in the middle there. And I was wondering how this was going to work, because, you know, just look, lightsaber wouldn't go in otherwise. But there's a hole for the lightsaber. So my question, you know, it looks cool for if that's how you actually need to carry it, but seeing as this is a toy and not something real, what do you do with these? Don't really have anywhere to keep them that I can see. I've seen pictures of a smaller Darth Maul toy. He stuck his hilt through here, but as far as keeping the blades safe, if I would have this on display or in a toy box, even if I was much younger, I don't know where to put them. So, negative points for that one. I didn't notice that before. Yeah, that doesn't really look symmetrical to me. Yeah, this is a softer rubber, it's not just the regular plastic. Okay. Well, I guess I'll be doing my hot water method on that too. So at least it's not totally broken or anything. That would be worse. Once had a one of the walkers, I forget what they're called right now, from the Matrix Revolutions, opened out of the box, fell in half, top and bottom. That's kind of bad day. But, you know, he looks about right on here. You know, when I think of that scene with Darth Maul and his bike, That's what it looks like. Actually, it mostly looks like this because you really don't see them for that long. But, you know. Cool. Looks good to me.